Sun, wow.
Welcome back to our channel. Last time we saw you, exactly 2 weeks ago, we were in the Ebro Delta off the coast of Spain, just south of Tarragona. Just south of Tarragona. We didn't film for the last 2 weeks. We actually had a good break. We did a lot of work on the van, and we spent Christmas and New Year close to Valencia. We're actually making a mad dash now south. It's just after New Year's, and we slept over in this cool little town called Vélez Rubio. We took the northern route from Valencia to Malaga and goes for parts of Granada. We're on our way to Malaga. We're going to skip Granada, but we have been to Granada before, so if you haven't seen that video, check it out in our playlist.
And definitely put Granada on your list, because that is a place worth seeing.
Yes, now this is going to be a very interesting week. We don't have solid plans. We do know by the end of this week, we will be catching a ferry to Morocco.
Quite exciting. After relaxing for a little while, taking it slow, doing a house sit, having 2 beautiful cats, and being in a small village, this is going to be a new adventure.
I have to admit, my 2-week break didn't feel like a break at all. I worked 8 hours a day solid on this van, and at one point we'll probably do a video and show you what I've changed all the electrics. But anyway, we got now 300 kilometers to Malaga, and from there we're going to meet some friends the next couple of days, and we have to somehow prepare ourselves for this Morocco trip. I don't really know. We haven't done much homework. So first thing first, let's get there and let's hit the road. We got to stop somewhere for breakfast and make the most of this beautiful sunny day.
It does feel good to be back in the van.
Very nice, convenient little stop, free stop here in Vélez Rubio, and it's actually very close to the motorway, so it's super convenient. There's actually services here as well. Ready to go?
Welcome to our channel. We're Andre and Lisa, married South African-Italian couple who have been traveling together for 20 years, exploring more than 50 countries. Since 2018, we've been full-time nomads, with our goal being to make travel a sustainable long-term way of life. For the past 3 years, we've been winding our way around Europe with our 21-year-old motorhome, Millie. We're starting 2024 with an exciting adventure to Morocco, and although our plans for the year might change, we're hoping to visit Sardinia for the first time, get back to Denmark for summer, then make our way via Eastern Europe to Greece for the winter. So hit that subscribe button and join our adventure.
Okay, Lisa brought us into the weirdest, strangest place. We don't know there's a market here. Okay, we gotta fix some breakfast quickly and we're gonna get back on the road. This is gonna be a quick stop, isn't it?
10 minutes later, we've got breakfast and a nice view.
My motto is that you have to be able to make breakfast in less time as it takes to eat it.
That's okay, I'm a slow eater.
Alright, enjoy. We're supposed to be eating the road, but we parked right next to the local market here.
And even though the sun is out, it is icy cold. I mean, there's snow on all the mountains around us.
Interesting breakfast stop, but not bad.
Oh, we can buy a typewriter.
We're not exactly in the market for old typewriters or whatever this is.
Oh, mini record player. We could have brought a bunch of stuff and sold it here.
Baklava.
Tea.
There's definitely a bit of a interesting vibe here, but it's mostly like bric-brac second-hand goods. €1 clothing.
Loads and loads of €1 clothing.
From Spain.
Okay.
Hola.
He's English, but he's born in Spain.
So we seem to have found the only English stall in the market, but some nice baked goods, so we'll try it out. That concludes our shoppings at the local market. We're gonna hit the road. We still got almost 300 k's to do. Go. Good morning and welcome to
The day after we arrived.
Malaga. So this is the parking lot we find ourselves this morning.
With just 1 or 2 other vans.
And we're going to introduce you to some of our friends today. That's volunteered to 5 minutes, eh? 5 minutes. Get ready, microphone. And we're going to chat to some fellow travelers here. It's interesting, you know, we arrive in a place like this.
Oh, watch out, there's not the most peaceful place. Lots of aeroplanes flying straight overhead.
Let's walk up here to the beach actually. Because you know, when you arrive, the first impression is like, oh my goodness, what are all these people doing here?
And why are they here?
Why are they here?
It's
Exactly.
ridiculous. One dusty sand park.
And this is what you will find this time of the year around this part of Spain, without a doubt, almost everywhere.
This is the empty area. I mean, there are definitely over 100 motorhomes here, stretching from the smallest van, even car campers, to the biggest Morello palaces.
Getting back to why are people parking here? What's the attraction? What's here for people? But in this case, you're 10 kilometers from Malaga. You can hop on a bus, you can take a scooter, you can cycle, and you have reasonably good weather. You have access to restaurants and supermarkets close by.
You have access to bins.
On that side, you have that, which we'll go to now. And as far as you can go, this beach will keep going.
And along the way, there's many restaurants and cafes that are actually open at this time of the year, as well as supermarkets, all in walking distance.
So why are people here? Why are they parked here? Well,
look at this.
It's unfortunately a bit overcast today, but why wouldn't you? Everything you need is right here. And a conveniently located airport. Quickly, we can be very dismissive about places like this because it's not the same as where we would normally go. But the truth is, you're surrounded by people that's doing sort of the same thing that you are doing in that time, and it's comfortable, convenient, super peaceful in the evenings.
It's also a great place to meet up with people, whether they're also traveling like you are or whether you're visiting them nearby.
There you go.
Good morning, and this is the reason that we are in this parking lot, to meet friends. We were in contact for about a year, and then we managed to meet them in Denmark and have tried to meet up whenever we can along the way. We'll introduce you to Thomas and Erica, and they'll tell you a little bit about their story.
Oh wow, it's getting closer.
Where are you guys from, and how on earth did you end up in a parking lot in the south of Spain?
Well, I'm Thomas. I'm originally from Germany. Erica and I got to know each other 14 years ago in New Zealand, where we left from beginning of this year after, for me, 17 years. And we pretty much sold up everything, our entire life, and decided to go travel for a little bit.
And now this is our home, pretty much. Well, this is our home.
And you have to meet the dog Zumba. Hello, Zumba.
Yeah, she's our 11-year-old Rhodesian Ridgeback. We brought her with us from New Zealand, which was a mission by itself already. Takes a lot of space, a big dog in a little tiny camper van. Why is a good question. So in New Zealand, we've always had camper vans of various sizes and formats. And we liked the traveling. We had lots of regular weekend trips. The last time we were in the South Island of New Zealand for 3 months while we were still working. Me from the road, Erica took 3 months off work. We decided that we still like to travel before we're too old to actually do stuff while we travel. That's why we decided to come closer to my family, who's still in Germany, which was good timing because after a few months in Europe, my dad had a heart attack, so we were able to go from southern Spain to northern Spain to help my mum out. Yeah, we just see how we go. As we don't have a current home, we decided to just look around areas that we're traveling in. We've been, beginning of last year, in southern Spain, moved further back, visited France, Switzerland, Denmark, Poland, and this year in winter we're gonna go back in springtime up in Portugal, northern Spain, and if we see somewhere where we like it, we have a look for properties, find a new home.
It's a lifestyle that's sometimes interesting, sometimes a little bit different or difficult, and I don't think it's a forever endeavour. I think maybe, certainly we've been doing it now for almost a year, so maybe another 2-3 years. And if we do find something, we'll definitely still travel around. It would just be with more of a base, I'd say. The biggest thing is not having a home base, is being on the road permanently and having to find, every day you have to find, or possibly every day, find a different location, your services. And for me, I think language is a big barrier. You're in a foreign country, you're not able to easily communicate. I think it's quite limiting in a sense that you're living a big life, but it's small because of a communication.
Which is more the experience to getting to know people rather than going shopping or whatnot. That's not a language issue. It's just, we've been in a beautiful, small, tiny village beginning of this year, and there was an old great-great-grandpa of sorts walking his horses through the village, and he just started talking, and even with Google Translate, it was not easy to actually communicate. It just takes away from the experience, unfortunately. And other countries the same. We had similar situations in Poland. Well, we've been traveling in New Zealand for quite a while already. So for us, it's not really too different. The freedom camping regulations in New Zealand were much more relaxed than over here, which we can understand with the volume of people doing this, especially in winter time. It's beginning of January, and in this dust parking lot we had more than 100 campers almost every night. So it's not the nicest, but it's good to catch up with people, and we're just trying to find a way where we don't go too deep into the mountains where it's too cold, but also getting away from the people where it's more relaxed, where we can spend time. I think just do it, because you only live once is a stupid saying, but it is literally like that. You never know what happens next year in a job, with your health, with your family. We planned on coming to Europe in 2019, or we started thinking about doing a European trip, but then COVID came in between anyway, which has given lots of people a different perspective about things anyway.
If you can leave people watching this with one thought, what would you say? What would you offer them?
Get in touch with Andre and Lisa. They will help you to buy a camper van and give you other advice from finances. They are amazing. Sorry, do that again.
Emergency stop at the closest IKEA in Malaga. I need a new pillow. Lisa did the unthinkable and washed my latex pillow. This morning we're on our way towards Gibraltar or Algeciras. We got a few days. We're actually meeting some more friends out there, and we will be probably spending a couple of days to sort a few things out. Got some work projects we have to wrap up before we head to Morocco, because there will be a little bit more limited now internet access initially.
Overwhelming. I haven't been in a shop for forever.
I'll have to grab Lisa by the neck, the scruff of her neck, and steer her. Oh, she'll get, exactly, she gets sidetracked so easily.
These ones are fluffy.
Pillows, baby, pillows. Oh, here's all the pillows. Now we have to get out of here. The one thing about IKEA is that everybody follows the same routes, so you get stuck behind people everywhere. They slow you down intentionally to get you buy more. I just want to walk, otherwise Lisa gets stuck.
Definitely a try.
Alright, success. Now let's go. Next up, LPG and some fuel, and then shopping, and then we have to move south.
What happened to the sunshine?
Thought it never rained in Spain.
Thought it never rained in Spain. I thought I never wanted to leave Spain. But maybe this is the sign that it's time to leave Spain for just a little bit.
Now, normally we would never been able to actually catch that kind of driving footage in time. You're inevitably too late. And that footage actually comes from our new Vantrue S1 Pro dashcam. It's got a 4K front-facing camera. And we were looking at installing a dashcam for a while now. We just couldn't quite get something we really liked, because you want it to be low profile and not in your view, not too visible. You wanted to have a GPS unit built into it. I wanted it to ideally have expandable memory capacity. I wanted to be able to have a camera of high enough quality that provides decent footage at night. We contacted Vantrue and they sent us the Vantrue S1 Pro, and it absolutely ticks all the boxes so far. And what's nice is it just continuously records, and in this case if you after the fact see something you like, then you can just press that button. So what we decided to do was not to mount the second camera on the back of the van, but actually mount it in the cab here. The angle of the camera is actually wide enough to capture our reaction at the same time, so we can switch between the footage if we need to. Now, obviously, it's not just for enhancing some of our videos, it's also useful for the obvious reasons for having a dashcam in case of an incident. And this one also goes into a parking mode, so when you switch off your vehicle, its G sensor is activated, and when there's other motion detection, then it'll automatically start recording. So really cool. We're still testing it, and I'll probably be using some of this footage. The most difficult part is to get Lisa to stop pressing the save button, because it fills the disk up so super quickly.
That's just because it's actually crazy how many times something happens that you just aren't able to capture preemptively. And it's quite nice to suddenly be able to capture these things.
Sun's out. Well, good morning. Well, this morning looks very different from yesterday. Sun's out. And the reason why we're driving so far in the rain was to meet someone that we've been talking to for a while, fellow YouTubers, fellow travelers, fellow nomads, hailing from the UK, and seeing it be sort of on this theme of talking to fellow travelers, we thought we'd take a moment and ask them a few pertinent questions about their journey and their story. And I'm very happy to introduce to you Kevin and Nikki from Packing Our Trunks.
We're Nikki and Kevin, and we're packing our trunks. We're from Devon in the UK.
We've been living full-time in our van since March 2023. And we've been travelling through Spain now for the last month, and we're heading to Morocco. Shock to the system to realise how easily this can just become life, hasn't it? We would say to anybody that's thinking about travelling for short term or full time, just make it happen if you can, because that's what we did. And now our plans evolve. We don't have fixed plans, although once we're back in the UK, I think we're going to travel the UK and Scotland. Travel's wonderful in that if you don't just fix it like a holiday, you can change your plans, adapt your plans.
You know, one of the hardest things that we have found is we miss family, miss friends.
A long way from home for a lengthy period of time.
Yeah. And one of the other hardest things as well, of course, we bought the van, and we were going to be travelling with Charlie, our Border Terrier, who was 13 at the time, and sadly he just didn't take to van life, did he?
Absolutely hated it, yeah.
So he actually went to live with our daughter and grandchildren.
So he's in a retirement home.
Yeah, and he was really happy.
There hasn't been anything that made us go, wish we'd never done this. There's been nothing that's, on the worst day, has been brilliant, and that's what it's been like.
And the challenges of living together in a small space as well.
Definitely,
It's 24 hours a day. But actually, we get on all right,
we really
don't we?
Yeah. We've learned, actually, we naturally evolve into each day. We take on different roles to achieve what we need to achieve without having to plan it.
Yeah,
it just
we don't
happens.
Discuss it, do we? We just get on with it. And
for me, what have I learnt about myself? I always felt that big adventure and the great things you see people doing on television or these days on YouTube were for other people, and actually they're not. You just make the opportunity be there if you possibly can. Give up what you thought were luxuries you needed in life in order to achieve that. And actually, people like me, if I'm talking about just me, people like me can just go and do this stuff. It's out there to be done. You've just got to be bold. And we're going to Morocco tomorrow. We can't lie, we're apprehensive. It's another continent,
nervous, yeah.
another culture.
I've just learned to just take life as it comes. As well, you just don't need much to enjoy life.
Yeah, winter travel in Europe is hard, short daylight hours. We can become a little bit lazy.
I feel I have become a bit lazy, I have to say.
But we've also got into good habits, haven't we?
We're eating well.
Eating really well.
Yeah,
you find there's...
we exercise and then we know when to stop, don't we, as well, I think. Yeah. We're in our late 50s. You know, we've made such a massive change in our life. We've turned our lives upside down. It's doable. Yeah. It really is doable. And once we made the decision, once we bought the van, once we got into the momentum of starting to declutter our lives, that momentum picked up, and we've got no regrets.
It's absolutely joyous.
Yeah.
And somebody said to us before we moved into Nally, when we still lived in our house, somebody actually said to us, "Why are you giving all this up?" Pointing at the house. Like, we're not giving anything up, we're taking something up. And that's how to approach it.
Before it's too late.
It's great to meet you guys, and that's partly why we do what we do. So we'll see you in Morocco.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Can we have a selfie?
See the wear indicators here.
To the best of my knowledge, our tyres are still good. But yesterday, on our drive here, when it started raining so heavily, we had some interesting experiences. Now, it hasn't actually rained for a long time in this part of Spain. We were in an urban area with lots of steep hills, and we experienced quite a lot of loss of traction as we pulled away and going up steep hills, which was rather frightening. So we're having second thoughts about our tyre situation at the moment. Maybe we should see if we can find something else. Give us better wet weather traction. We're going to go to Norauto. We need a oil change anyway. Hopefully they can help us. If not today, maybe tomorrow. Then maybe they can order some tires for us. A reasonable price. Let's go see.
I was literally just doing yoga yesterday and looking at the tires and thinking it's an unnecessary expense. Maybe we don't need better capability or anything like that. And then driving in that rain yesterday scared the living daylights out of me. And if it's our safety, it doesn't really matter what the cost is. I think it's something we have to address. We need to be able to be comfortable and feel safe driving in wet conditions.
Okay, so we go and see if these guys got something for us.
Let's have a look.
All right.
Filling up some water at the Carrefour. I thought they said it was fast-flowing water. This is very slow-flowing water.
It's not that easy to find water around this area, unfortunately. So you take what you can get. Some places make no claims as to the drinkability of it. As we filter the water, we're not too concerned. That's their own liability, I think. What's he doing?
Turn right. Then turn right.
So the choice is between the Michelin or the cheaper Kumho, and it's a €200 difference in price on the 4 tires. It's quite a difficult decision to make when there's only one grading difference in the wet grip, and the rest is they're both all 4-season tires, good brands. But we're only going to do this once, so we're going to do it right.
Unless we get a puncture on day one.
It's always hard to know where you should go. Where do you start looking when you need this kind of service? And you sort of just have to put out some trust, look online and go for it. And, well, fingers crossed, the tires are going to arrive on Friday. So far, so good.
So now we have a day spare and we have to get out of here. Gracias. There we go. Gracias. But lots of work to do, so hopefully the tires are going to arrive by Friday, and that's what, 1.5 days from now, so it's not that long.
That's really impressive. I'll be impressed if those tires arrive and they fit them on Friday at 1 o'clock.
Okay, now we're gonna go find a place to stay for the night.
Tenemos